WYFF News 4 at 11 starts right now.
Election results are pouring in.
All eyes on the 2024 election tonight, and WYFF News 4 is your place to turn.
I think we're going to have a very big victory today.
It is time for a new generation of leadership in America.
For live Commitment 2024 election coverage.
We the peoples make the decision for our country.
Voters making their voices heard at the federal, state, and local level.
It's been a rainy election day, but more on the way. I'll show you additional live Super Doppler 4 impact days.
We have Commitment 2024 coverage tonight. The results are coming in this election night in America.
Polls close this evening at 7 in South Carolina and Georgia. At 7:30 in North Carolina, voters spent the day casting their ballots, making their voices heard from Congress to the State House and local elections. Join us for live team coverage across the Carolinas as we are tracking several major races in our region. But we do want to begin tonight with the race the entire country is watching.
Who will be the next president of the United States? Democratic Vice President Kamala Harris is taking on Republican former President Donald Trump. Right now, this is what we see with 45% of the vote in. Donald Trump, 53% of the vote. Kamala Harris, 46% of the vote.
And the candidates are in a race to 270 electoral votes. That's how many electoral votes are needed to win the presidency. Right now, you see former President Donald Trump with 214 electoral votes, Vice President Kamala Harris with 179 electoral votes. It will all come down to just a number of key battleground states, including North Carolina and Georgia.
Both candidates are closely watching the results. The Harris campaign is spending election night in Washington, D.C. at Howard University, Vice President Harris's alma mater, while the Trump team is in Florida at the West Palm Beach Convention Center. We will keep a close eye on the race for the White House throughout the night.
To the race for U.S. House District 4. South Carolina's 4th district includes a majority of Greenville and Spartanburg counties.
Our projected winner is Republican incumbent William Timmons. He was challenged by Democrat Catherine Harvey and Constitution candidate Mark Hackett. Here you see the results with 87% of the vote in, Timmons with 60%, Harvey with 38%, and Hackett with 3% of the vote.
Our Jane Roblo joins us live from Spartanburg County with more from the Timmons campaign. Jane.
Well, Sydney and Carol, William Timmons tells us that he really appreciates that large voter support that will send him back to Washington, D.C. for a 4th consecutive term in the U.S. House of Representatives. Tonight, he joins supporters here at Holiday Brewing in Enman. This is where fellow GOP candidates came together in Enman right after the polls closed. They all gathered here, Timmons joining in. This is the Spartanburg County GOP Watch Party, and it was important for Congressman Timmons to thank these folks since Spartanburg gave him his primary win over Adam Morgan. And tonight, he celebrates his general election victory right here.
The last 4 years have been hard for all of us, whether it's inflation, whether it is the economy, whether it's energy prices, whether it's the southern border. Whatever has been the number one issue for you, we're going to work hard to solve those problems for you and to really save the American dream and get our country back on track. And I just want to say it's an honor to serve, and we're going to keep fighting for the upstate, and thank you for your support.
Right after this, he headed over to Greenville to thank supporters there, and then he tells me he'll end up the night at his parents' house watching the presidential returns come in. He says that's a Timmons family tradition. Live in Edmond, Jane Robelo, WYFF News 4.
Thank you, Jane. And as we mentioned, Timmons was challenged by Democrat Catherine Harvey.
Our Gabrielle Komorowski reports from Spartanburg County.
Catherine Harvey said despite a loss tonight, people coming together in the community created what she called a movement. There was a large crowd of supporters here at the Citizens and Southern Event Center on Main Street in downtown Spartanburg tonight, including Spartanburg Mayor Jerome Rice, watching the results come in. Harvey, who has been the chair of the Spartanburg County Democratic Party since 2022, spoke shortly after 10 p.m. Harvey had called this race a fight for women and families and reproductive freedoms, and her message to supporters was, "We're not going anywhere."
So 6 months ago, we launched this campaign, y'all, and we brought more energy and candidly talent and volunteers and donors in to this fold than we have seen in my lifetime.
Harvey saying the fight is not over. The Democrats saying this is a rapidly growing and changing district and says they will stay on this until the seats flip. She says it has been an honor to be in this race. In Spartanburg, Gabrielle Komorowski, WYFF News 4.
Thank you, Gabby. In Greenville County, only 2 races were contested for county council. District 22, Republican Frank Farmer and Democrat Karine DeBatey. Here you see the results with 63% of the precincts reporting. Farmer with 60%, DeBatey with 40%.
And for District 24, Republican Liz Seaman and Constitution candidate John Langville with 65% reporting. We have Liz Seaman with 84% of the vote, John Langville with 16%. Ray Arena joins us from McAllister Square with more from the winners of those seats. Ray.
As you just mentioned, those results are still coming in, but Liz Seaman and Frank Farmer are looking more likely to fill the last 2 seats up for grabs of Greenville County Council. In District 22, Farmer is facing Democrat Karine DeBatey to fill the seat of the outgoing Stan Juvalakis. In District 24, Seaman is facing former Greenville County Constitution Party Chair John Langville. Seaman has been on council since 2008 and is the current vice chair. Both Republican candidates talked about their priorities for the next 4 years should the results hold on.
We'd love to reduce the taxes from this last tax increase. I think we are going to have a surplus, so that means that there's place to cut back on.
I will just continue to work hard, continue to think about things like public safety, like infrastructure, our roads, affordable housing, transportation, green space, economic development, things that I've been working on since I first got elected in 2008.
Both candidates say the roads and the Unified Development Ordinance, which passed 7-5 tonight in a county council vote, will continue to be talking points for council moving forward. And this will also be a brand new looking council, as 4 new members, at least 4 new members, will be seated on council after 3 incumbents were defeated in the primary. Live in Greenville County, Ray Arena, WYFF News 4.
Thank you, Ray. Now to one of the most closely watched races in our region, North Carolina's race for governor.
Candidates were looking to fill the seat of the term-limited governor, Democrat Roy Cooper. Our projected winner is Attorney General Democrat Josh Stein. He was challenged by Lieutenant Governor Republican Mark Robinson. You can see there with 86% of votes in, Josh Stein receiving 55%, Mark Robinson 40%.
Our Rashad Williams joins us from the Stein Watch Party in North Carolina's capital. Rashad.
Maybe you can hear it, the party is not over. The race was called before 8:30, but people are still packed into the room here. Josh Stein winning the votes more than 15%, or around 15% over Mark Robinson, as Carol and Cindy just mentioned there. I want to get into how he was introduced, a local HBCU marching band along with current North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper. So when Stein took the stage, he really made it a point to hone in on unity amongst North Carolinians, regardless of political affiliation. He emphasized his plans to really hone in on what he calls North Carolina issues. That includes good jobs, strong public schools, public freedom, and reproductive rights. Stein says North Carolina chose progress over hate this election day.
We chose hope over hate, competence over chaos, decency over division. That's who we are as North Carolinians.
Bringing it closer to home for our viewers, Josh Stein also took time to mention Western North Carolina and how he plans to continue pushing for aid in the region on the heels of Hurricane Helene. Now, despite the music and the celebration at the end of the speech, Stein said tomorrow it is back to business as usual. So just a few blocks away, also in downtown Raleigh, is our Peyton Furtado. Peyton, you have been with the Mark Robinson campaign all day. Can you talk about what's going on there?
Rashad, the party is most definitely over here. Like you said, those results announced, called earlier on tonight. Mark Robinson coming out to a crowd of supporters earlier tonight, saying he was holding his head up high, but that he was disappointed for the people of North Carolina. Now, Mark Robinson was the first lieutenant governor, the first black lieutenant governor here in North Carolina. He would have been the first black governor in North Carolina as well. His campaign was plagued with controversy, including a recent story done by CNN saying Robinson commented on a porn site more than a decade ago, saying he was a black Nazi, among other things. Now, Robinson denies this, and tonight he spoke about his future plans.
And it's about the state that you love, a state that I fully intend to continue to serve for the next 2 months. And who knows, maybe in the future once again, somewhere in office. Who knows? I don't know.
Absolutely. A pretty decided race earlier on. Right now we've got 64% of the ballots reporting in North Carolina, looking like Josh Stein has 55% of the vote. Mark Robinson has 39%. The crowd of red still cheering Robinson on regardless of the results. Live in Raleigh, I'm Peyton Furtado for WYFF News 4.
In the race for U.S. House District 3, incumbent Jeff Duncan did not run again, leaving his seat to be filled. Our projected winner is Republican Sherry Biggs. She faced off with Democrat Brian Best and Alliance Party candidate Michael Biedenbaugh. Here you see with 90% of the precincts reporting, Biggs had 72% of the vote, Brian Best 25%, and Mike Biedenbaugh had 3%.
Our Nate Stanley joins us live in Anderson County with the new representative for District 3. Nate.
Good evening. Things wrapped up here at the Sherry Biggs official campaign watch party, but earlier tonight it was filled full of people here celebrating that win. Sherry Biggs took time around 8:30 this evening to give her official acceptance speech. She thanked her family, she thanked her friends, and of course she thanked the voters of South Carolina. She tells us she wants to fix a, quote, emotional and spiritual deficiency in our country and thinks winning this election, she can do so in Washington, D.C. We asked her what her plan is when she gets there.
I'm sticking to the same platform. I'm concerned about the crisis at the border and all that entails, bringing in illegals and in our economy. People are struggling right now, and we've got to get things back on track.
And Biggs tells us she won't have much time to rest. She says early tomorrow morning she will be back out at a veterans breakfast tomorrow morning. Reporting in Anderson, Nate Stanley, WYFF News 4.
Thank you, Nate. Still to come, we are joined by two upstate political science professors here in the studio.
We're breaking down election results when we come back.